Hi there, I'm James Tchinnis. My friends call me Jimmy. I'm chef owner at Swallow East Restaurant and partners at Organic Crush. My beautiful wife Julie's filming right now. Hi Julie.
Hi.
So we're gonna start a little cooking channel or blog or YouTube thing and see what goes on. Today we're making Birria Tacos. I'm sure you've seen them all over the internet. They're those cheesy, beefy, saucy tacos that everyone's making, and they're really delicious. So we're gonna do our take on it today. A little different, but it's gonna be delicious, I promise. So we'll start. You see this meat right here, Julie girl? This is chuck. Nice, beautiful chuck meat roast. We're gonna season up with this blend of spices I made. Julie will go over there in a second and show you what it is. So first we're just gonna season our meat up. Most of the time they don't do this in Mexico. They just throw the meat in the water and make a consomme and make a clear broth. They throw it in with just onions and stuff, but we're gonna get as much flavor out of this as we can. So we're gonna season it up with our beautiful spice mix. I'm gonna turn the stove on, and Jules, why don't you show them the spices we got while I'm turning the stove on, love? Right over here. It's a mix of things you like too. You can do whatever you want. I have smoked paprika, bay leaves. This is some blackening fish spice, but it's just really good. So whatever you like, throw it in. You want to get a lot of red stuff. You want that really red, rich broth, but lots of Mexican stuff. Cinnamon, cumin, coriander, garlic. We have some cilantro and onions and things like that we're gonna throw in. So, you know, you can do really whatever you want. You just want to get lots of flavor in there. So we got our stove and our pot is on high, right? You want to get a heavy bottom pot because this is gonna cook for like 3 hours or so. So you want to get a nice heavy bottom pot. This could also work great in a slow cooker that everyone's using today. We got a nice neutral oil. This is good old fashioned Crisco. Crisco, we don't ever use, that's like some white bread stuff, but we're doing it. We're doing some Crisco, so it's nice and neutral. So I just put about a tablespoon in there. I'm gonna get my tongs, hopefully they're clean somewhere. All right, there they are. I'm gonna sear this stuff off on high heat. We wanna get a lot of color on it, and then we're gonna add some broth. We're gonna add some chilies. We'll have the recipe for this down in the description, hopefully. But we're gonna use some ancho chilies, some guajillo chilies, all dried chilies that you can get at, we got these at King Collins, so you can probably get them anywhere. And some pasillas also. We're gonna hydrate them in the broth we're cooking this with, and it's gonna become flavorful and just amazing. So we'll be right back with you when this is searing up, okay? See you in a minute. Okay, we're back. So you see we're searing our meat, our chuck. If you notice that nice color it got on it, like I said, this is not really a traditional recipe, but we're gonna coax as much flavor as we can. So we seared this, it got nice color on it. The bottom has all sorts of nice bits on it that when we add our water and liquid, it's gonna lift that up and give it much more flavor. So this has been searing for about 5 minutes. I flipped it over. Now we're gonna get our other stuff ready, nothing major. Again, this is not so traditional. They usually don't add carrots to theirs, but they do add an onion and some garlic, and sometimes some tomatoes. So we're gonna do all of that. Gonna get rid of this stuff. Peel our onion. And we're gonna throw it right in there to saute. Again, they usually throw it in there right with some cold water, and they throw it in raw without sauteing it because they want to make what they call a consomme, which is more of a clear broth, but it turns red anyway, so I don't know why they fuss with trying to make it clear. So we're just gonna kind of leave it in big pieces because it's gonna cook for 3 hours. We don't want this to break down too much. So I'm just gonna throw this in just like this on top of this. We're gonna throw in a few of these carrots too to add depth of flavor. You know, carrots will add some sweetness to the dish. We'll throw in a little tomato for color and richness also. Maybe just 2 tomatoes. And the garlic, we grab the garlic? Here it is. We're gonna throw in a whole thing of garlic, a whole head of garlic. So I'm just gonna take off the ends of my tomatoes. And Jules, if you have any, questions or anything that you think the audience might want to know that you're thinking, let's throw it out there, right, girl? I think I'm explaining. So this is just all rough chop. The sauce is gonna get, this is gonna cook down and really, we're probably even gonna puree it later. So we'll do that. This we can just kind of do this with. See that? That's cool. I'm gonna throw that right in. Peel off the extra layers. I'm gonna throw that right in like that. This is all gonna be flavor. We're gonna strain it out later and puree it, so that won't matter. So I'm gonna add these tomatoes also to the broth. To the pot, excuse me. And I have some cold, actually room temperature water here, ready to go. But Joel, come on over. Show them what it looks like in there. All that stuff is in there, right? I'm going to move the onions and everything to the bottom so they get a little color, but that's not so important. The beef is what's really going to make that color on the bottom. I'm just going to add bay leaf or two to this. Or three. And then we're going to come over here and seed our chili. Come on back here, girl. Making you work for it, huh? You're working for it, girl. All right. So these we're going to seed because you don't want it to be too hot. So that's typically it's just, you see it's a chili, it's a dried chili, right? We're just going to pull the top off. And if there's any seeds inside, we kind of just see them, rip them out, bang it. I have a little garbage, right? We keep a bowl around for garbage. It makes it easier just to throw everything in the garbage can so you're not making a mess. So I'm going to seed all these chilies and throw them in. And then we will be right back and I'll show you what we do next, all right? So I'll see you in about a minute. All right, welcome back. So as you see, we took out all the seeds. I'm not sure if I mentioned before, but the reason we do that is to take the heat out. Seeds is where all the heat is, most of the heat is. So we don't want this to be too hot. These are all mild chilies like pasillas and guajillos. They're all mild chilies on the very low end of the spectrum of heat. So, you know, if you like it hot and your family likes it hot, make it hot. But we're kind of just keeping it mild because, you know, a few of my kids don't love it. So come on over. We're gonna add these. These are dried, right? We're gonna rehydrate these more or less. So before I add them, I'm gonna just kind of pick the meat up and get everything underneath. And look down there, Jewel. Hurry up. Check that out. Can you see the dark flavor down there?
Oh yeah.
That's like more meat flavor, right? That's how we're gonna get serious flavor. Oh my God, this is gonna be good. So now I just flipped everything on the bottom, so it's all sauteing now. Chilies go right in on top, right? So the onions, tomatoes, carrots, garlic are all on the bottom now. Chilies are on top, no big deal. Now we're gonna add this nice room temperature water we have here, and it's gonna lift all that delicious flavor you saw on the bottom, right off the bottom of the pan and into our broth. So you're gonna hear a little sizzle, right? That means it's doing its job. You wanna cover the meat, right? It's just covered. So we have water, but we're also gonna take it up a notch and add a little beef bone broth, which is a really clear, beautiful beef broth, okay? Non-GMO, no MSG, so we're being cool here, you know? So this is just gonna add really much more flavor and richness to it. You want this broth to be so rich. That's half this dish. A lot of times this is a birria taco, but birria is usually lamb cooked this way without the tacos. It's just a really flavorful broth with the lamb shredded. They put it in a cup with some cheese and cilantro and onions, and you eat it and drink the broth. So that's how it's usually served. But now the hot thing's to turn this into the tacos with melted cheese and tortillas. So that's why we're adding all this broth, because the broth is really what the magic of this dish is. Okay, so we got everything in the pot, right? All the boys are swimming in the pool. I'm gonna cover that. We're gonna bring it to a boil. Once it boils, we're gonna lower it to a simmer, which is little bubbles, right? We'll show you when it's simmering in a minute. So I'm gonna cover this and we'll be back when it's brought back down to the simmer, okay? See you in about 5 minutes. Hey, welcome back. All right, before we get back to the action over here, our birria is boiling, but when in Mexico, you know what they say. There's a beautiful bottle of Don Julio 1942 that somebody, one of you out there, one of you beautiful people gave me for my birthday, and I didn't thank you appropriately that night. I'm not sure who it was, but if you know you gave this to me, thank you. This is good damn tequila. And Julie and I are gonna do shots, aren't we, Jules?
Yes.
To celebrate the Birria Tacos and just, you know, celebrate life. That we're all healthy during the corona nonsense, so I might make a silly face, but what are you gonna do? Tequila's not my favorite. There you go, hon.
Cute.
Cheers to you guys. Thanks for watching. Let's do this, and then we'll get back to cooking. Salud, 1942. Yum.
Cheers, love.
Oh yeah. Man, is that smooth. Okay. So while we were away, I added a chipotle pepper. Just because we like it a little spicy. It's a smoked jalapeno, so that adds a smokiness to it and a spiciness to it. So if you see, our stuff is starting to hydrate. It's boiling. We covered the pot and let it come up to a boil. We're gonna lower it to a simmer. And this is gonna cook for about 2 hours right now. Once 2 hours is up, we're gonna remove these chilies, blend them up and put it back in here and cook it for another hour or so. So I'm gonna add a little cilantro for flavor now too. Just a little snip. You don't want to add herbs too early into the process, but this will add a nice flavor and earthiness to it. So I'm going to cover this back up. Let it simmer. We're going to set our piggy clock to 2 hours. I think it only goes to an hour, so I'll set it again when it comes back. And when the piggy dings in 2 hours, we'll be back. We'll blend up some stuff. Maybe we'll take another shot or two of tequila. Get crazy, who knows? We'll see in a little bit. Okay, we're back. This has been cooking for about an hour, hour and a half now. So we're gonna take the chilies out, we're gonna blend them. In the meantime, I also, here, come here, Jules, come on in here. I made a chili oil that we're gonna saute the tacos with. This was just some of the spice mixture I had left over with some of that same oil. And also some of the adobo chili peppers. So I cooked it in there, I put the oil on low, and I just brought it up to heat and simmered it and then brought it down right away so it didn't burn. So that's what we're gonna cook the tacos in. Music out loud? It's okay. Alright, so we're gonna blend this now. Come on over here, baby. We're gonna keep that simmering, but we're gonna pull all the chilies out. And we're gonna get a little liquid in there so it helps blend it. I'd like to thank my studio audience, Leo and Arden. Say hi quick.
Hi.
Okay, they're here enjoying cooking with Daddy and Mommy. They're building Legos, but they stopped for some reason. So I gotta find, where's all my chilies? They're buried in here. Come on over here, baby. Come take a look. Oh, here they are. Here's some more. I forgot what I was looking for a second. So the little bit of liquid that's getting in there with it is good. It's gonna help it blend really smooth. So we're gonna find all the chilies we can. We're gonna let this keep cooking while we blend this, but now we're gonna blend this up and add it back to this. See that color this is getting, by the way? Look at that, Jewel.
It's beautiful.
Isn't that crazy? Okay, so let me do this. I think that's all of them. The meat's still not soft yet, so it definitely needs another hour and a half, maybe 2. I'm gonna put a little of this in here to let it blend. Okay, we're gonna blend it up. Now listen, when you guys blend, this is very dangerous because
It's hot, right?
when something's hot, steam builds up in there and it can explode. So in secret, if you keep the top off like I have, take this little thing off and you want to let a little vent out. So you leave a little thing here, because otherwise it'll shoot on the ceiling. You turn it on and you give it a little pulse. Now we're good. But if you were to do it right away and let it go, it would explode everywhere and you burn yourself. So let's blend that up and add it right back. It doesn't have to be super smooth, but the smoother the better. Got that? Okay, see the little vent that helped the steam escape? No one got injured. Arden and Leo are safe. Everyone's good. So look, we're gonna pour that back in. I'm gonna put a little more liquid in here just to help it kind of get out now. Look at this. Look at that flavor, oh my God. That's just such flavor there that's adding now, those chilies. Again, I'm pouring broth in just to get every little drop out, right? You understand? What's going on there? We'll shake it up a little. And now look at the change of the broth. Come over here now and take a look at how rich this looks now. Doesn't look muddy. Okay, so we're gonna keep cooking this. See, we still have our garlic. It's nice and whole. So I'll be able to pull that out. Oh no. I'll be able to pull that out later. And we're gonna keep cooking. So we'll see you when this is done and then we'll put our tacos together. We're gonna chop the meat. We're gonna add cheese and it's gonna be delicious. So we'll be back here in a little bit and I'll see you soon. Okay guys, it's that time. But before we get assembling, I think it's another 1942 time. So we're gonna pour usually a little shot here. Only a nice one, usually a little one. Whoops, oh no. That's a little too big, but what are you gonna do? This dish may not finish here. Let's go.
Thank you.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, love.
Thanks for watching our first video. Salud. Whoa, that was a big one. Okay, so we're gonna assemble this. Here's the meat. It's all shredded up and chopped. Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. So we're just gonna, you know, rough chop it. So it's nice and small and little pieces to fit in our tacos. Sometimes there's little tiny little pieces of, you know, cartilage or something, but not much. So we chop it up, put it in here. I threw a little bit of broth on top of it. Remember that garlic we cut in half and we threw in the pot? Well, I squeezed it out and it's like just cooked down and delicious and really mellow. So we're gonna throw that right in the pot, right in the beef with it. We also chopped up some cilantro and onions for later. So come on over, let's make some tacos. Let's see how it goes. I got a pan heating up over here. We got our broth, we got our cheese. We're gonna put a little bit of oil in the pan, but remember that chili oil we made before. Oh, the pan looks a little too hot, let me lower that down. But remember that chili oil we made? We're gonna coat the tacos in that. So here's how you do your birria tacos. Usually they'll take it and they'll dunk it in half of it in the broth you made. Get it all yummy. Put it in the pan. And we're gonna build our tacos right in there. Okay, we just got a little bit going. So we got some meat. Actually, you know, let's put some cheese down. Let's get it really cheesy. What do you think? So here's some cheese.
Great.
You like that? We're gonna put some cheese down so it starts melting, right? This is mozzarella cheese. This is straight up mozzarella. You can use some queso fresco or cotija cheese, which is a Mexican cheese, but this is just nice and melty, you know? So we're gonna build our birria tacos. I'm gonna put more cheese on top too. So these are supposed to be sloppy and kind of messy. The cheese is gonna ooze out a little bit and caramelize in the pan. It's gonna be just ridiculous. So there's this, a little more cheese, a little more cheese. It's probably a little big, but let's see what happens. Boom, boom, boom. Now look, see the chili oil over here? We're kind of just drizzle it all over everything. Get them cooking. We're gonna fold them up in a minute. I'm gonna grab my spatula here. And as these are cooking, you just wanna watch them and adjust your heat, but just kind of fold them over. It should go with the way I dipped it in, but we'll fold it over and smush them. Look how good they look already. Don't they look like unbelievable? But watch, so just keep folding them. Push down a little. If the cheese oozes out, that's the better, you know, all the better. And we're gonna drizzle some more chili oil and get them really messy, sloppy, like sloppy joes for tacos. So look how good so far, right? And just kind of, you want to really drench them and yummy them up. Cover them in some oil. Let the oil do its magic. Give them a little push. I think the heat's just right. Medium to low heat. Maybe I'll raise it a little bit to get them moving. And that's our birria tacos. They're so good and cheesy and yummy. So let's come on in here, Jules, and get that scissor. Look how good they look. You see all that fat and the oil, the red chili oil, this is all flavor. A lot of times they just completely soak them. And it helps crisp up the tortilla. And it just becomes even better. Let's flip them over and take a look. Oh, they're getting yummy, crispy. See that? They can even be, look at that one. That's the model student right here. Holy mackerel. Okay, so while we're letting those cook, we're gonna get this bowl here, and here's the secret to the birria tacos. Check out our broth, Jules. Come on over. Look at that broth, right? See how rich, my gosh, and dark. So what you do, you kind of take another bowl, you put in some stuff here, nice liquid, right? Then you come over here, you take some of this, so the onions and cilantro, dump that in there. Keep this right on the plate here. I'll show you the next move. I forgot to mention, I did salt this broth as we went along. A little kosher salt, right, goes a long way. So I did salt that, and you adjust that to taste as you're going along. You taste it with a spoon, and you make sure it tastes delicious. Okay, I'm gonna dig into one of these in 1 second. Look at this, holy mackerel. I know Julie's mouth's watering too, but I'm gonna be the guinea pig. Holy mackerel, do you see that? Oh, look good.
Yes, very good.
Okay, so, that's good. I'm gonna burn myself, but, you know, all for the channel, yo. And you just do this. You know, you make them as you go. They get hot. Put 4 more in there. See how they're oozy and holy cow, look at that, man. This is the one I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna wreck myself. Joey's happy about that. Check it out. We do this kind of thing here. Get it close with us. That's beautiful. Isn't it?
Very.
And now I'm going to show you how we do it. Okay? Get the big Greek mouth. Okay? Check it out. Oh my God, I'm like scared how good this is. Does that look good? Now look, you dunk it. Look at that. Oh, it's hot. It's really hot. Like what? It doesn't even make sense to me. But money is not the word. It is so good. You're gonna love this. It's actually very easy, right? It was just a few hours. It took 2.5 hours exactly for our size of beef we had. Yours can be different, a little less, a little more. Just give it a squeeze. When it starts to fall apart, it's done. Oh man, I'm going in for more. Stay there, Jules. I'm gonna eat and talk. My God. That's Birria Tacos. Very easy. You can make these very easily. They're delicious. My kids probably hate them because they don't like my cooking. But my wife likes my cooking.
I love it.
So this is Birria Tacos. This was our first video. I hope you liked it. Thank you to my beautiful camera woman. You did a great job. Thank you to whoever gave me that 1942 again. And thank you, Birria Tacos. I love you. We'll see you soon.